One day I was sitting observing my breath casually, um, nothing fancy, there was no technique. I was just sitting there observing my breath. And suddenly I had a weird experience. My breath started slowing down. It kept slowing really down. And suddenly it disappeared. It stopped. I was like, for a second, completely panicked, and then I stopped observing my breath. I'm like, am I dead? So, yes, that is when I was like, should I even be doing this? What is this? What is happening? So, in this episode, I want to understand what happens when we observe our breath. Why does it slow down, or at some point it disappears? And who should be doing this? And let's be honest, although we preach observing breath and certain techniques, is this for everyone? And aren't there any risks associated with this? And of course, this might not be new for you. You have been in silence for a longer durations. So, yes, I think what happens when we actually observe the breath?
When you observe the breath, you will realize that one fundamental thing that everybody thinks or like is generally taught, you breathe in and you breathe out, is not the only way in which breath moves as a pattern. So it's not like you breathe in 100 ml of air and you breathe out 100 ml of air. That's probably the majority thinking. Or you use up some oxygen, carbon dioxide percentage is higher, and you breathe out. Most people do not know more than this. But there, as soon as you start observing the breath, you will realize that you can breathe in and breathe out lesser, breathe in more, breathe out lesser, and you can keep changing the pattern. And at times, if that's not comfortable to you, you could probably try this. You can breathe out, you can breathe in lesser than you breathe out, and breathe out even more than that. You will see uh, an amazing transformation happening within your body right when you do this, like within minutes. So, if I took a full breath as much as I can, but I give out little, then I can breathe in more, then give out little, then breathe in even more. So, a variety of things like this, right? You will discover as soon as you start observing the breath carefully. Uh, I don't know how many days later I figured out this, that breath can keep going in cycles. One is an escalation in, lesser out, in, more, lesser out, and you see the chest, everything expanding within you. Or you can breathe out more and go in the other cycle, breathe out more, breathe in lesser, breathe out more, and you will see yourself shrinking.
Hmm.
You see that the breath slows down. That's what you've experienced, sometimes even going to a standstill. If you look at the science behind this, there's a we call, science calls it vagus nerve, calms down. So this vagus nerve connects the brain, heart, the intestines, your digestive system. Having it in a calm state, relaxed state, drastically improves your health. For your own health, you have to start observing your breath to decrease restlessness, which is induced by the system. Even when we had a time when system wasn't introducing so much restlessness, Even then, people used to observe breath and reach heightened states, states where you are simply happy, though you are not doing anything. It for no reason, you're just happy. So to stay like that, to be happy for no reason, no, don't. It's not madness. It's a natural expression of the free self. And to stay in that state is bliss. That's how humans are supposed to be alive. How that's how humans are supposed, like humans can live, and it's beautiful. So if you want beauty, if you want joy, if you want happiness, and if you want to feel blissful, happy for no reason, it's enjoyment. A fresh breath is joy. It rejuvenates the body. I don't understand why people are so concerned about just observing what they are doing for every moment of their living life.
True. And is this, can anyone just start
Yes,
doing this without any preparation?
yes, absolutely. Anybody can start observing their breath unless they are on a ventilator.
And
Yeah, it calms and it slows down. That's something you just mentioned.
yes, and why does that happen? Why does the breath slow down?
Yes, your entire nervous system slows down. Your requirement for oxygen decreases because the mind relaxes. The biggest consumer of oxygen and glucose is your brain. So, if it has to do less thinking, then you need less resource. So, the body will take less resource.
And we have also seen some people come up to me and say how they were stuck by doing this. I mean, it's not just about one or two people saying this. I've seen many who started doing some sort of meditation technique or something, and then they say there was Kundalini awakening, and then they didn't have a teacher, or maybe they didn't have the right teacher, and they say that they were stuck.
See, um, you should understand the role of the mind. The mind is there to preserve the body. And as you start observing the breath and the breath cycle gets deeper and deeper, the mind doesn't have much to do. Thoughts decrease. So, at a particular state, your mind has to stop. When the mind has to stop, it is not ready to give up so quickly. The mind plays a very tricky game with you
Mm,
and gives you all kinds of threats,
mm.
gives you all kind of negative reasonings, trying to push you in a direction where you will stop observing the breath. Understand that this is the trick of the mind.
Yes.
So you were tricked by your mind. That's it. So simple. Nothing physiologically dangerous happened to you, but you were completely tricked by your mind, and you will think that no, this really happened to me. But
Mm-hmm.
who is telling that? The mind is telling that.
Mm.
That's it.
Yes.
So you got played by the mind.
How does someone who experience something like that, how do they come out of it?
Understanding.
Hmm.
So I'm telling you that you got tricked by the mind, right?
Yeah.
Next time that happens, when the mind gives some alternative reasoning, you'll say, come on, shut up to yourself.
Yeah.
And see, the awakening of Kundalini or the energy that travels through the spine to the crown of your head is uh, not I don't think it's something magical or out of the world kind of experience. I think it's quite simple. Um, it won't take more than a couple of breaths if you have had the energy channelized within your spine before to get it to the crown of your head again. It will not take more than a couple of breaths. It's quite simple. Nothing off worldly will happen. So if they are telling you all those kinds of experiences, uh, I I can't reason with that. Like, I don't know where they are getting it from, or their mind is creating all that illusions. And
And
moreover, one more thing, like you,
mhm.
I don't think I have read in any scriptures that when Kundalini rises, you will go mad.
But they do say certain things should not be attempted or practiced without the help of a guru, or maybe because it is because of this. Now, when you say it's a trick of the mind, because we are not entirely in a state where we know this is a trick of a mind. It needs a lot of awareness to even understand that this was the trick of the mind. So you need someone to tell, hey, this is your mind playing. So you ask it to shut up just now, like you're saying. So is that why probably
The conviction,
they say that?
the
Uh-huh.
conviction, and the dedication towards a guideline given. Like if your teacher says, observe the breath, I, the conviction that you will do it no matter what. If I die, I died for a good thing. I died doing what my teacher said. What better death could I have? Is the kind of conviction required. This is non existent in the modern culture, right? At a particular stage, if somebody is stuck, like I reach this point, after that, nothing is happening. When I close my eyes and meditate, all that I can see is a blank. Yeah, of course, for a long time, even when I started meditating, all that I could see was blank. Only then we start seeing energy movements within the body, the mind getting silenced completely, uh, the breath moving in different patterns, the sight changes. Like you can focus on an object, or whenever you are looking anywhere, you are looking at something. You can stop looking at that something and look at the space between you and that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can look at you, or I can defocus and look at the space in between. There is this is a 3D, right? I'm not
Mm.
looking at a flat screen, so
Mm.
I can focus at any point.
Mm-hmm.
So the eyes will become flexible like that. uh, it the critical thing is you should not give up coming up with some silly reason. If you do not give up, it means that there's a quality at birth. Um like just like I'm sitting under a mango tree. There is a mango tree that produces sweet mangoes. There's another mango tree which always produces sour mangoes. That's the quality of the tree, right? Similarly, for human beings, also there's quality at birth. So you are the quality of birth is good. That's how sages would put it. If you are a good quality human, as per a sage by birth, you will not give up.
Mm. And let's also talk about what happens, what is beyond breath. Now, we start observing breath. There are, of course, different patterns, and at one point, your breath completely slows down, and your mind is in standstill state, and probably there is like you stop, the breath stops.
Yeah. Post
So,
that,
what is happening beyond this breath?
right? Post that, if you need to observe progress, that's a that's this, say, I would say, a critical line, a critical threshold. Mhm. There you need to give up. Like, there is some part of your mind, some intent still left till that point. The critical threshold is crossed as soon as you give up control entirely. That is
Isn't that
complete
death?
surrender,
Isn't that
submission.
death?
It is not. If you think that this will be my death, still you should tell yourself, I don't care. If I am dead, I am dead, and move forward. That is the threshold most people don't cross. When you cross that threshold, there is a subtle threshold till which your memory keeps recording whatever is happening to your breath, whatever is happening in
Hmm.
your mind, how the physiology of the body is changing, how the mind is moving, all that is recorded. For different people with different strength, maybe, I'm not sure how, but to me, I remember how that process happened for a few hours or a couple of days. After that, I would not remember what had happened. Like, mm, some very beautiful experience. Sometimes I might keep bits and pieces of that still, right? So all this recording is happening. There's a fine and critical threshold beyond which this recording stops,
Hmm.
which means till that point you know what happened. Again, when the mind becomes active, that is when you will start recording events again. In this space, you know nothing.
Hmm. The mind knows nothing. Is that what you're
If
saying?
the mind knows nothing, how do you know?
I don't know.
So, uh, like, at one particular point, this is how I know it. Sometime maybe in the middle of the night, 11:30 or 12 p.m. Uh, it was a remote place, some trees, and there was this is a cremation ground, and I'm sitting on top of one of the dead bodies there, like, and I used to go there almost every day at night, and I used to spend time till maybe sometimes till 3 4 a.m., sometimes till it's light, sometimes I used to return like 1 2 p.m. kind of, sorry, 2 a.m., and it's at night, right? Early in the morning. So I had a crowbar with me, because of because I did certain things there, which will take us off topic if I get into all the details. But then later, when uh, I observed like, I was breathing deep, uh, and I started moving from there. Um, a snake started chasing me. I felt like something moved behind me rapidly. I stop, turn, I'm holding the crowbar, and I'm staring. It's pitch dark, right? And I don't use torches. So it's pitch dark, and I'm staring into the grass there. The grass is high. If there's a snake in between, if it's still, you won't be able to see it. So I observe as much as possible, but I am unable to see it. Then I start moving again a little more quickly, and I hear that chasing even quickly. Then I turn again stare for it. I couldn't find anything. Then I ran at full speed till I was out of the grass patch, till I
Hmm.
could find a mud road. so that I can see what's chasing me at least. And then walked away. Next morning, I went to that place to see if there was something odd. What is it that was chasing me? And I was observing carefully. There's a deserted small room near that. Like this is where the dead bodies are buried and the cremations have happened. I was sitting here, like behind me, there was a little behind me, there was a deserted room, and beside the room, there's a tree whose branch. So I was observing and I saw that on the branch of the tree, there's a huge snake.
Hmm.
Mm, um, it was quite thick and uh, I was startled when I looked at it. And then I thought, oh my God, this is so dangerous. And I walked away, walked back home. And that night, I went there again. I had the crowbar with me. I was a little more cautious. I went when there was light itself. I went a little early so that I can see what's there. And I used to believe that if I'm sitting on the top of a cremated body, there's a structure created, right? If I'm sitting on top of that, a snake will not hurt me if I'm just sitting there. That's my understanding. I don't have any proof for that, but I've been sitting there and nothing hurt me. So I went there and I sat. Maybe a couple of hours later, it was completely dark, like 10:30, 11. It was 11 p.m. or something like that. Uh, I was closing my eyes in between, observing the breath, um, and opening once in a while. I opened my eyes slightly and looked at it and see there's a huge figure like this, and it's close, like maybe within that throwing distance. Within, it's straight in front of
Probably
me,
where I am right now.
a little farther than that. So the huge snake. As soon as I saw it with its head raised, I knew if I run today like I did yesterday, I will not survive this. Okay, I give up and let me just observe my breath. That's what the guidelines from all the sages are. If I die, I am dead. If I move, anyways, I am dead. If I sit still, there is a chance that it won't hurt me and I am gone. The next thing that I remember is when there was sunlight on my face already. Uh, the
It was
mind,
early in the morning.
of
So
course,
I've
right?
sat through it for the whole night.
I, I should have. I don't know what happened in between.
Wow.
So as soon as the as memory started recording the events again, and the mind had come back, trying to see if there was a threat or not, and I was also uh, uh, the first thing that I did was open my eyes and see if that snake is still around. I could see nothing. I was relieved, and in relief, I'm trying to breathe, but I'm not breathing. I was scared. I observed what was happening inside, and the breath was moving in circles. It wasn't even moving in and out.
Hmm.
So it's moving in circles. I'm like, what? Am I dead? So, like, post death experience is something, probably that's what is happening to me. I tried gasping for her breath, like, It's not, I'm unable to breathe. I'm unable to breathe in and out. Breath is moving. Yeah. I tried hard, like feeling threatened, and for my own survival, the mind got scared, and like I tried like 8, 9 times, or maybe within 10, 15 times of me trying to observe in and out, I regained the normal breath. Like it stopped moving in circles. Um, I was not able to recreate that experience again. Like I probably I did not give up like that again. I wish I do sometime soon, because it's a beautiful experience. And because it moved in circles and it was the first time I saw, yeah, I did panic. But this time I won't panic for that. I want to see for how long I can have my memory on, but still it moves in cycles. No, I don't want to be threatened like with this snake and all, but still, let's see how it happens. So,
So you just probably, wow, this is a great experience. I mean, this is beyond breath situation. um, yeah, that was great to know, and I obviously do not expect anybody to go and sit in a cremation ground and try this, right?
you can't say.
And so I would ask you just one liner advice for someone who wants to begin with something like observing the breath. What
Mhm.
is your suggestion? Any advice?
Start now. You don't need a date and a time and a place to start. Start now. So start. Don't you already have lived for so many years, whatever your age is, and if you haven't tried doing that till now, at least now you can start doing, right? Mm, the clock is always ticking, and we were born someday, we will die someday, and we are in this transition between birth and death.